Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Politics, reaching you live from our global headquarters here in the nation's commercial nerve center, Lagos. I'm Jeffrey Uzoma. Let me bring you up to speed with big happenings in politics and in the polity. Let's begin with the headlines. Federal government intervenes, withdraw case against Ibom Air passenger Comfort Emansin, asks NCAA to withdraw criminal complaint against Fuji musician KWAM1 to name him ambassador for airport security protocol. Nigerians have started reacting already. And Governor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State visit President Bola Tinubu said he has no apologies for supporting the president. Thanks again for joining us. There's a lot playing out. In fact, it's been an eventful first 3 days of the week as a build-up for what played out at the weekend, and the conversation is big. And so let's get started with a big one now, that the federal government now has withdrawn its criminal complaint against Ms. Comfort Emansin, accused of unruly behavior aboard an Ibom Air flight, and reduced the flight ban of Fuji musician Wasiu Ayinde Bashir, popularly known as KWAM1, to about 1 month. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Keyamo, in a statement, said the decision was made after consultation with stakeholders in the aviation sector. He explained that the resolution came after reviewing the incident, considering appeals from well-meaning individuals and the remorse shown by those involved, adding that the Ibom Air had agreed to withdraw its complaint against Ms. Emansin, who was arrested over the August 10th incident. Part of the statement reads, in part, I have also conferred with the leadership of the airline operators of Nigeria. I've appealed to them to lift the lifetime flying ban imposed on her, to which they agreed. Regarding Wasiu Ayinde Bashir, the minister said the NCAA is to reduce the flight ban to 1 month period. FAN will also work with the music star with a view to engaging him as an ambassador for proper airport security protocol going forward, having publicly demonstrated penitence. The NCAA is also to withdraw its criminal complaint against KWAM1 earlier logged with the police. The NCAA has also been directed to reinstate the licenses of Captain Laurent Ogoyi and the First Officer Ivan Oloba of Value Jet after the same 1 month ban, once they have completed mandatory professional reappraisal. Well, that's going to be a big conversation today. But before that, let's tell you the federal government is assuring Nigerians that it is working seriously to improve the nation's economy and the well-being of Nigeria. Speaking in Abuja after a meeting held behind closed doors at the Imo State Governor's Lodge, the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, says $1 trillion economy being targeted, $1 trillion economy being targeted by the federal government will soon become a reality. According to the minister, the federal government remains committed to improving the living standard of all Nigerians.
I can tell you that Nigeria's economy is now on a solid footing, and it is going towards the destination that Mr. President has promised. The $1 trillion economy, we're gradually going there. Food sufficiency, we're going there. Insecurity that has bedeviled this country for a long period of time is being tackled by Mr. President, being tackled by all the governors. The kind of deficit that the governors and the central government is having in terms of resources is also being tackled. You can see that resources are being freed for governors and the central government to have enough for them to deliver the promises of democracy that the people's hope, being renewed. We are hearing every day the positives coming out of the economy. All the rating agencies in the world are rating Nigeria's economy better now. It is not yet Uhuru. It is not yet El Dorado, we all know, but it's work in progress. But there is a great indication that the progression that we want, the direction that we want the economy to take, that the Mr. President has fashioned out, we are going exactly in that direction. And this is just at the midterm. We know that by the time that Mr. President completes the first 4 years, Nigerians will be better off for it.
Let's stay with the presidency. Yesterday, there was a visit by the governor of Anambra State, Chukwuma Soludo, who, by the way, is seeking re-election in the November elections coming up in that state. Well, after the closed-door meeting with the president, he said that the president is in high spirits, hale and hearty. He also talked about the fact that why he's supporting the president, adding that all political parties professing progressivism should come together into a massive coalition.
Supposed to be a private meeting and just to discuss issues about the nation, security, law and order, the economy, and so on and so forth. I just stopped by to see him, and it was quite very pleased to see the president such high spirit, hale and hearty, seeing people and so on and so forth. I was quite a pleasant meeting. Well, it's a fundamental idea that I believe very strongly, that all the political parties who profess progressivism should actually come on together in a massive coalition, to deepen the process not only of our democracy, but also of economic and social development of our country. And so for me, when I say progressives working together, it's a call for all those who call on that. And then talk about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I mean, I don't make any, I have no apologies about it. President Tinubu is my friend, has been my friend, 22 years now, and counting. So you don't deny a friend. I'll begin to be quivering about who is. He is my friend. I support him. And I'm impressed by the bold steps he has taken, particularly in the areas of the economy, the structural reforms. And I have said so severally. We're taking the right steps. We only need to stay the course.
All right, let's get to the big conversation for the day. And your guess is as good as mine. So let's bring in my guest, Jide Ojo, public affairs analyst. He joins us virtually, as well as Ekemini Udim. He's a lawyer joining us from Uyodi, Akwa Ibom State Capital. Jide Ojo joins us from the nation's capital. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on the program. Let me reel back of what the Honorable Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development posted earlier this morning. So just a quick highlight that the cases against KWAM1, so case against Ms. Comfort Emerson has now been withdrawn. So a criminal complaint that was actually filed by the NCAA against KWAM1 to the petitioning the IGP and the AGF has now they've been advised to withdraw it. The Ms. Comfort to be freed from Kirikiri detention this week. The lift of no-fly ban on Comfort reduced KWAM1's no-fly ban to 1 month. KWAM to engage KWAM1 as airport security protocol ambassador. Mr. Ojo, let me start with you. I read the minister's statement. One of the things I like about three of his statements that has gotten us this far, from the KWAM1 to the Ms. Emerson to this, is that he tries to look at every side and apportions the blame and reprimand for everybody as far as this is concerned. But people are saying that this is technically trying to give KWAM1 a soft landing, given his high-profile nature, a cultural ambassador. If it was someone else, this wouldn't have gone the way it has gone. What do you see from where you sit with this intervention? You can help us unmute your device so we can hear you, Mr. Ojo. Can you hear me, Mr. Ojo?
I can hear you.
All right, fantastic. Please go ahead.
So I want to remind all our viewers and listeners of a book written by George Orwell, Animal Farm. That book this year is 80 years old. That book was written in 1945. Geoffrey, that's exactly what's playing out. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than the other. And this impunity does not help in nation building. But I wasn't shocked. I'm not shocked that what has happened has happened. I foresaw what happened today because I knew there is something called esprit de corps in the military parlance or in security parlance. esprit comrade, solidarity. I can't fathom how President Bola Tinubu will watch and his protege will be sent to prison or will be banned for life. They are too close to, if they were estranged, maybe the law will have taken its full course. But again, Wasiu Ayinde is not someone that is known to apologize for anything. He has displayed some measure of the behavior in public, like slapping photographer, giving somebody knocks. He never cared about public opinion against him. But in this particular instance, he found it fit to do a video where he apologized after 3 days the event had happened. From that point forward, I knew there was going to be a soft landing for him. And even the owner of ValueJet, he kept mute. He never issued any or uttered any statement. And you could see the lopsidedness. While the owner of the ValueJet company suspended the license of the pilot and the co-pilot, they didn't mention any blame on KWAM1 because of Parakpo. They are from Ijebu Remo axis. And so I am not too shocked about what has happened. But again, does it send the right signal to the to the public? I don't think so, because when you kind of give soft landing, and comfort should thank our stars that KWAM1 incident happened before our home. Because if it had been the other way around, I'm not sure whether she would have been able to benefit from the soft landing that has now been extended to her. So the bottom line is that culture of impunity will continue to take root, and the issue around elite interest. As a student of politics, we are told in one of the courses I took in University of Lagos about elite theory. Elite will always watch out for one of their own. And that's why what happened to KWAM1 is not entirely surprising. And it's also good that Nigerian public have used the social media positively this time around. Because I saw how they rallied behind Comfort Emerson. Many people, yes, while they may blame her for that unruly behavior, some said he was scantily clad or whatever. But majority of people stood firmly by her. In fact, Nigeria Bar Association even offered pro bono services for her. I recall that yesterday, Mazi Alpha Musigwe, the NBA president, issued a statement condemning the excessive charge and punishment being meted out to her. So it's also heartwarming that she's also getting some soft landing from this. And I hope all the dramatic personnel in this have learned their lessons, and that we will not be seeing this kind of misbehavior, public misbehavior from any quarters, whether high or low, in the nearest future.
All right, let me come to Ms. Ekemini. You're the lawyer here. I would like you to help us understand what this means in terms of the legal optics. Because from both the, I think, 2006 and 2022 Civil Aviation Acts that I've read through, if this was taken to court, and because I asked the NCAA spokesperson, I said the action that was taken by KWAM1, for instance, we're going to come to the recalcitrant behavior of the lady, and of course the unprofessionalism that was exhibited by some of the staff in taking her out that led to her body being exposed. So, as I said, the minister was able to look at everybody, and there was enough blame to go around, both on the passengers' end and the airlines' end, in both cases, especially in the second one. So when I look at the laws, whether it's the old one or the new one, and I asked the NCAA man, I said, what KWAM1 did, what would you call it? He said, well, it's in their law, it's tantamount to hijacking. He even said that if it's another crime, it will be considered terrorism. And I did read, since you're the lawyer, Any person, because this is what the punishment for that action. Of course, we cannot say KWAM1 went to hijack a plane, but the action is what the law will interpret. Any person who commits the offense of hijacking is liable to a conviction of imprisonment for life and also a fine of not less than 10 million. I think the new one is 25 million and life. I think it's not a or, it's an and. So this was a man who was heading to a life sentence in prison in that sense. So given the fact that he wasn't arrested, he wasn't charged to court, then withdrawal, or he was found guilty and then pardoned, what does this do in terms of optics in our jurisprudence when these issues will be, when these issues are raised in the future?
Well, thank you for having me. It is not good optics when we treat people differently in the country. It is often said that there is equality before the law. You know, the law emphasizes equality to the extent that when this person commits a particular offense, the person should be treated in accordance with the law. And when another person commits the same offense, the person should also be treated equally in accordance with the law. So the law does not allow the treatment of people based on status in society, based on relationship with anybody in society, and all that. So basically, equality before the law. And this is what is practiced in all countries of the world. Major democracies in the world, there is equality. We've seen former presidents of countries going to a stand trial in court. We've seen former presidents of countries being convicted and so on. So Nigeria must be built around such principles where we have equality before the law, irrespective of the persons involved. You can see that the handling of the KWAM1 matter by the authorities in Nigeria has met the criticism of many citizens of this country. Most citizens have said it wasn't properly handled. It was handled as though it's above the law, and this other person was rushed to court immediately. Others have said that the improper handling of that of KWAM1 has given clemency to everybody, that is involved in the whole of this. But you see, what is the lesson here? Have people been able to learn lessons? Have people been able to tell themselves that when they go to the airports, when they enter into the planes, they should behave, in ways that is generally acceptable and internationally acceptable? Or are people now thinking that you can go in, behave as you like, and then go out without any consequence whatsoever? It is left for Nigerian citizens to get that interpretation. But let me also say this. There is something in law called the complainant, right? The complainant is the person that goes to the security agencies, that goes to the attorney general to make the complaint to say, this person has done something against me, has done something against my institution, which is against the provisions of the law. Every prosecutor needs the complainant to be able to prosecute a matter to the end, because it is the complainant that has the facts of the matter. And it is the complainant that will provide you witnesses to testify in court and tender evidence. Now, the Ministry of Aviation, the Airport Management Authority, in this case, would be the complainant. And here we are. The complainant is saying, we are no more interested in prosecuting that matter, going by the release by the Federal Minister of Aviation. He says, we are no more interested in prosecuting that matter. I have spoken to all parties to withdraw. And in law, that's the end of that matter. Because if the Federal Attorney General should push on now, or if the Commissioner of Police in Lagos State should push on now to continue with the matter in court, who is going to testify and tender evidence for you as the complainant? So the case will be dead on arrival. And therefore, the release by the Federal Minister of Aviation today simply brings an end to that matter.
Okay. All right, Mr. Akemene, I need to butt in because of commercial break. When we come back, we're going to look at how we even got here in the first place. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us.